been an interesting change going from from the 650 to a 300. There's two different worlds of bikes, like the DR or a KLR, any of those single cylinder sort of more torquey engines are low revving thumpers. Just got a lot more torque down low. Single cylinder motor again, 300cc, but it generates its power through revving harder. So you've got to get in the mindset with these sorts of bikes. In order for it to go well, you've got to give it a bit. So it's just that's something to bear in mind if you're considering these sort of smaller bikes. They'll do absolutely everything that the larger bikes will do, with some benefits like fuel economy. It's just one example, but probably the biggest benefit is just the weight, the lack of weight. I can physically move this bike around in the garage, or if it falls over I can pick it up, whereas the DR, I can pick it up, but I haven't got the best back. You knew it picking it up. Well, I think one time I was on the beach mucking around doing a few donuts, got dizzy, fell over and picked it up, and I've hurt my back for a month. That's something to consider. I reckon when choosing a motorbike, I reckon they should take you to the shop, lay the bike on the ground, and if you can't pick it up, that's not the one for you. It's as simple as that. Like, what's the good of it if it falls over, it lands on you, and you're stuck? That's it. That's where it lays. So especially obviously solo riding, a couple of guys probably alright, but for what I do on my own most of the time, it doesn't pay to have something 200 plus kilos. Probably the most talked about thing with these bikes is the suspension. Like, the reality is it has very soft suspension. It's designed for light people from the Asian market. Most people are 60 kilos, 70 kilos tops. So if you're that weight, then suspension's absolutely fine. But if you're any heavier, which is most people, you've got to sort of ride within the limits of the bike. It's not. It might look like a sporty, jumpy dirt bike, but it's just not. Once you're loaded up with a bit of gear, like camping gear and rack systems, or however you take your gear around, it's going to drop the suspension a bit more and get even more spongier. So as long as you're aware of that, it's not a bike in stock form that you would jump and carry on with. It's an adventure bike to explore with, depending on your view on adventure riding, whether it's flat out everywhere or literally just cruising around exploring, which is basically my sort of thing. You want a bike that's light, fast, powerful. You'd probably get like a 701 or a bloody KTM 690. But if you want a bike that's comfortable to sit on, like in terms of a bike you sit in rather than on, you got good wind protection for your legs, your head and your chest. You want a bike that's just designed to ride, to explore. Like, even if you were commuting, like you're just using it to get to work and back. If you want to load up camping gear, it's fine, absolutely fine. Just know its limitations with the suspension, or put a couple of thousand or 1,500 away and do up the suspension. But in its stock form, you absolutely go anywhere in it. You just got to ride it within the limitations of the suspension. Like, it's not soft, you're going to bottom out just sitting on it riding, or bloody flying around dirt tracks. It's fine for all that. It's just the second it goes airborne, I reckon that's when you find the limits. So one of the big things that drew me to this bike, like I had the 250 version of this 2017, and it was I loved it. It was great. It was nice and light. It just a little bit underpowered, which it's 250cc. It's always going to be. But I liked its fuel economy. I liked the look of it. I liked the ability. I used to take it camping. I think I put about 15,000 kilometres on that. Took it camping a lot and took it everywhere. Everywhere I wanted to go, it would go. Once they released the 300, I thought, okay, it's probably got everything I like from the old bike, plus a little bit more power. So ended up going for a ride on one, and I pretty well straight away worked out two things. One was, it does have more power, like whatever it is, 15, 20%, 30, whatever it is. It's a little bit more power in it. It's noticeable, the power, but it's certainly not bloody ripping your arms off, but it was noticeable. And the other thing I noticed was the gearing seemed different. The first through to third, quite low gears, like very sort of hill climbing ability, and you get up and go in those first 3 gears. And then fourth and fifth, the around town cruising 50 to 80 or 50 to 75, 80 kilometers an hour sort of gears, which is probably most you're cruising around. And then six just absolutely shines. Anything over about 85, 90 and around 100, like I've had up to 114 and comfortably purring along. But yeah, so as a highway touring bike, there's nothing wrong with sitting on 100 kilometers an hour or 105, just so the trucks don't sit up your ass. But yeah, there's no problem with sitting on that for hours and hours and hours on end. And that was probably one of the main differences between that and the DR, like DRZ, DR, 5-speed gearboxes. Like, they absolutely happy to sit on 100, but you're always searching for another gear. So is the CRF a bike that you would tour on? It depends what your version of touring is, and if you're going across Australia sitting on 130, then it's not going to be the right bike for that. But if you want to go across Australia and see everything, well, you want to go around the world and see everything, absolutely, I'd take this thing anywhere. Proven reliability, economical, light. Changing things as they prove annoying. I'm not gonna, like, the tyres are there until they prove to me like the stock tyres are all dangerous, whatever, they'll go. And I'll put 606 on the back and go back to MT21 on the front. Replace things or update things or upgrade as they prove a problem. I think till then you don't need to change everything just because you can. So that's sort of the logic I'm working with this bike. So yeah, who is this bike for? What's the market for it? In its stock form, so you got to remember, like, there's 2 ways to view it. You can pour a heap of money into it and update everything, and yeah, you've got a pretty hardcore little adventure bike. Or in its stock form, which half the people will leave, change a few little things here and there, but they won't go too hard on. My view is it's for people who want to, go exploring, economical exploring, from outlay to fuel to running cost. So yeah, it's not a hardcore bike off the showroom floor. It is a mini adventure bike, and I'd say it's a mini touring bike. It's very comfortable to cover distance on, and it's obviously economical. Like I was getting 30 kilometers per litre fully loaded up, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, if you want to explore, you want economics, you don't want a massive outlay, you want a bike that's light, you can pick it up. You want a bike that's reliable, it's a Honda, Japanese bikes just go forever, then it's absolutely something to consider. But come off a great big adventure bike to this, you're going to be like, damn, where's the power? You probably won't like it. But if you're stepping into the world of exploring things, go in the frame of mind that this is a bike to explore with, it's not a race bike, then yeah, you might come away smiling like I do. Probably know from my videos, I'm not into going flat out everywhere. I'm into where I can go. That's what I'm into. I want to see everything. I'm curious, what's up that road? Where does that go? And it's not how I get there, or it's not even what I'm on to get there. It wouldn't matter if it's a postie bike or a bloody big GS. That's not the main thing for me. The main thing for me is exploring, getting out and seeing things, because who knows how long everyone's here. So do everything while you can, and if you can do it, something that's light, cheap, fun, looks good, reliable, yeah, absolutely, get out and do it. Yeah, it's a bit of an update to the bike. So I put a set of bars on it, good set of bars. Actually the same bend as the original, or the stock bars, but they are a whole lot tougher, and with some risers. So the risers are 35mm, and just by lifting that up, yeah, literally 35mm, it's just made it, just taken the weight off my hand. So that's a good thing, and it had to be done. Alright guys, I'm out of here. yeah, cheers for watching. Hope that helps a little bit, gives you a few ideas, and yeah, you know what you're in for with this sort of a bike. I will see you in the next video. Alright, catch you.